Hey guys, Con here once again, and if you watched yesterday, I uploaded a quick blog entry just to let you guys know that I was in Las Vegas, so if I wasn't commenting on some of your posts and stuff like that, or you had questions, I wasn't answering them because I was still on vacation. The KJD Let's Plays were all pre-scheduled, so I wouldn't have to worry about uploading anything while I was on vacation. So I finally am back. I made it home safe and sound back in Chicago. So everything is great. But I figured since I don't really have anything to upload for the day, I could just kind of explain my trip. Now, to start off, I did want to say that I did plan on blogging almost every part of this trip, but a lot of it fell apart once I arrived in Las Vegas. When you go to Las Vegas, they don't really like you taking pictures or videos of like the game rooms, the gambling, stuff like that. And I honestly stopped kind of carrying around my camera on me because it's kind of silly that I couldn't record. So I just ended up taking pictures pretty much for most of the trip. So I figured I could just kind of explain day by day what I did, where I went, and kind of play a little slideshow and videos in the background while you guys watch. So without further ado, I guess we'll get this the ball rolling here. Alright, and to start things off here, I made blog videos before I left to let you know, hey, it's early in the morning, I'm getting ready to leave, and some other thoughts before I actually went over to my friend John's house to get in the limo and head over to the airport. But I'll let those two videos do the explaining, and then we'll cut back to me, and then I'll go on with pretty much more of my trip. Hey there guys, Con here. It's about 8:50 in the morning, 8:40 actually in the morning. Today I am leaving for Las Vegas. And if you're watching this, that means my trip has probably already been passed, but I decided to do a video log of just random days I'm in Las Vegas. So today's day one. I'm leaving in about 10 minutes to go to my friend's house, and then we're going to be leaving for the airport. So I got all my things packed over here, as you can see. One carry-on and then one just suitcase full of clothes and such. So then I'm going to be getting going here in a minute, and I'll show you guys an update a little bit later on. So stay tuned. Oh, and one last note before I leave. I have been sick since Monday, and today is Thursday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I have had probably one of the worst colds I've had in the longest time. And today I pretty much made a full recovery, I would like to say. I'm a little bit congested still, but overall a lot better. So I'm really happy about that I'm not going when I have like a really stuffed up nose or anything, but I figured I'd make note of that real quick since my voice probably sounds a little bit different since I've been pretty much coughing all night and such, but it feels so much better today. Just got a small stomach ache and a little bit congested like I said before, but pretty much ready to go here, leaving in about 5 minutes I think, so I'll update you in a little bit. So as you guys could tell, I was not feeling very well the past few days. I got sick on Monday night really late, and going into Tuesday, like, it was miserable. I felt so sick, and then on Wednesday, I still was super congested, and I actually ended up calling off work, which is something I've only done one other time since I've been working under the big top. So they knew I was not feeling well, and the owner knew I was feeling like shit, so he was gladly letting me have the day off before my big trip to Las Vegas. And it really did end up paying off, because before I left, like, I was so thankful that I felt so much better. Although I was still congested, had like a really runny nose and stuff like that, I wasn't going to be absolutely miserable during my trip. I knew I was still going to have a good time and stuff, just based on me feeling even just the tiniest bit better. Now, the next part here, we go ahead and I went to John's house, which is my friend Johnny Dollar from like KGD Let's Plays and some more videos I've uploaded with Call of Duty and stuff. So I headed over to his house. We probably stood around for about 10 or 15 minutes. The limo arrived. we jumped in, and then we headed to the airport. Now, we arrived at O'Hare Airport, and we were getting ready. We've checked in all our bags, and we got in line to do the security check. So we took off our shoes and stuff, and we were just waiting in line, trying to get checked in. And then, of all the things to happen, this man just started yelling across the room at some TSA guy. He's like, "Hey, get over here. Why don't you just tell him that to my face? Ah, blah, 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 blah." And it was just such a strange sight because it's not something that you ever see in person or you think you would see in person at an airport, but it really ended up happening. And the guy ended up getting arrested by the time we got to the other side of security where he was, and he was taken away, and we couldn't believe what we were witnessing here. So then after the whole TSA fiasco with the madman, we went ahead and started heading towards our terminal, towards our gate, whatever you'd like to call it. And I made a short clip here of the people mover. And we went ahead, got to our loading area. Me, Johnny Dollar, and my friend Voltage, we headed up to the United Club, which is pretty much just a lounge area, but I think you have to fly first class to get the cards to go into there. So we went in there, we just chilled out for a little bit, came back to the flight, and we pretty much left. About 4 or so hours later, it was less than that, but a normal flight to Las Vegas from Chicago takes about 4 hours. We arrived at Las Vegas, and we arrived in front of the Palazzo after about a 10-minute limo ride. So the airport is literally right next to the Strip. You can see it when you're coming in. It's just so cool in the air. So we came in, ran it up to our rooms, put our stuff in, and I have a short video here to kind of introduce you guys to Johnny Dollar and Vultures. So I'll go ahead and play that real quick for you guys here. We have successfully made to Vegas. To my front is Johnny Dollar, live in person. Introduce yourself, Johnny Dollar.
Hello.
And
we videotape Nick taking a shit.
Yeah, I'm going to. This is our hotel room. It is beautiful. We are at the Palazzo. And it's pretty.
Here.
Yeah, it turns off this. Look at that.
Where's the remote?
You don't get a remote. That costs extra.
Oh, here it is.
We got many amenities in this room, including weight-censored shit that you don't want to pick up. If I can open this fridge, I'd show you. Don't want to pick any of those up either. It's like $33 for
102 degrees.
half a bottle of Patron.
Palazzo has their own little thing.
Of course they do. And then our other guest is taking a massive shit at the moment, so
Watching TV.
I cannot videotape him. So yes, we have successfully made it, and I've already won $4. He has won 0. He's going bankrupt.
You go watch
wait, where's the...
play poker.
Where's the remote so I can show the outside? Oh, is this it? Maybe.
I know.
Let's see.
Hello? I knew it was you.
I'll show you guys a view real quick.
It said unknown, and I went, oh god, I know exactly what this is.
This is a view of the Strip that we got.
It's
Got the pool down low. See Trump building down there. Treasure Island in front. The Mirage.
The channel button doesn't work on the TV.
So yeah, this is our hotel room. Pretty sweet.
This channel is so boring.
And here's our last crew member.
Hey, did you get the phone call?
He called John while taking a shit.
How was it?
Introduce yourself.
My name is Nick. Fuck you, Mark subscribers.
Thanks.
I'm kidding. I love you all.
We call him
Show the video
Voltage.
of the elephant.
We'll probably do
It's so
Let's Plays with
beautiful.
him sometime in the future.
Look how majestic that elephant is.
So those are the two guys that I hang out with all the time outside of YouTube and outside of Facebook and all that. Those are my two best friends. I've known them since like elementary school and or in middle school. So we go back way back, and we pretty much got dressed into pretty much fancy schmancy clothes. Went down, had dinner with John's family. And after that, we went back, we gambled a little bit, we went back to our room one last time, and then we head out to this club called Tao, which is at the Palazzo. Well, it's kind of, oh no, it's in the Venetian. It's not really in the Venetian, it's kind of like upper level, kind of like in this mall area. I guess it is part of the Venetian, but it was this club called Tao. We had a second dinner there, which was amazing, but I was so freaking stuffed from our first dinner that I pretty much didn't eat almost any of it. And then we headed up to the club. Now, the club, I mean, this place was amazing. I really did not know if I was going to enjoy going to nightclubs and stuff like that, but just based on my experience at Tao, I knew I was having a great time, and I was looking forward to doing other clubs in the future, whether it was at Las Vegas or anywhere else, if I ever get the chance to. But I have a short clip here that I can play for you guys, and you can hear kind of how loud the music was inside this club. And I personally like this club a lot just because it was playing a lot of house music that was popular. It wasn't really rap and hip-hop, which is something that I really despise. So here's the short clip for you. Alright, and then after we got out of Tao, which was the crazy club, we went downstairs, we exited, and we met up with the other part of our group, which was like John's mom and dad and his family over at the Grand Lux Cafe in the Venetian. We sat down, we had dinner, or well, not dinner, I guess it's kind of breakfast, but we had a short break from the craze and before we went to bed to grab a snack and kind of get some more energy for the next day. I had to say, after Tao, I was pretty darn drunk. We pretty much drank a whole bottle of Grey Goose between me and 4 other people, and I'm a super lightweight, so after even a portion of that bottle, I mean, I was already drunk. Other people seem to be holding their liquor a lot better than I did, so congrats to them. I finally saw my friend Johnny Dollar drunk, which was pretty funny, and we all had a good time, and we head just back to our rooms and we're getting ready for the next day pretty much after that. Okay, so that was all happening on Thursday, and then we went ahead and moved to Friday, which is day 2 at Vegas. And we started the day by walking the Strip, just kind of going, I think it's south. So we were heading towards New York, which is where our destination was. We were going to go there to ride the roller coaster and check out the arcade there just because that was something I kind of wanted to do. But before we did that, we made a stop at the Quad. And the Quad actually isn't open yet. It's still under construction. They're building a giant Ferris wheel in the back of the resort and casino. But it's not complete yet. So we went into this like little area of the Quad, and we went ahead and gambled inside of it. We played some blackjack. So we sat down at a table. We all kind of learned the ropes because I haven't played blackjack for real in a casino my entire life. And John's Uncle Tony was giving us all these tips about how to be good at playing blackjack, when to know to hit, and stuff like that. And it was a big learning experience for me because when I played blackjack again later in Las Vegas, I actually ended up being a winner. For this time, I ended up being a big fat loser and losing like $30. But it was a low wage table. I think it was only $5 to bet in. So after we pretty much sat down, played around for about 30 minutes to an hour, we left. We were just walking down the strip. Probably some random photos here. I know I took some pictures of Paris while we walked by it and a few other shops. And then we arrived at New York, New York. Now, the big reason why I went to New York, New York is because I wanted to ride the roller coaster there. Now, before I even got on this roller coaster, I've heard nightmare stories about it and how rough it was. And boy, it lived up to its expectations. I mean, it was a rough roller coaster in my opinion. It's made by some Japanese manufacturer. I honestly do not remember the name. I think it's like Togo or something like that. I think that's the right manufacturer. And they're kind of notorious for making these really, really rough roller coasters. So we went on that, we got off, and then we pretty much looked at our stupid faces on the screen to see how much pain we were in. And we were in a lot of pain when it took our picture. And then after that, we walked down a little bit, and I'm like, you guys mind if I check and see if there's a game here? My friend Kyle Ward might have made it, so I just want to see if it's here. And sure enough, I walk 5 feet, and then it's literally right in front of my fucking face. For those that don't know, the game I'm talking about is Re-Rave. Now, I was playing the iOS game on the flight here, but I didn't really plan on actually playing the arcade version because I wasn't sure if there was a hotel that had it or if we were ever going to be able to make a stop for me to even play it because we had a pretty busy schedule. I managed to squeeze in one round of playing and one round of kind of goofing around, showing my friends how hard some of the charts are. And after that, we left and went to the hotel. We got changed into nice clothes, and then we headed to dinner at this restaurant called Nobu, which is at Caesar's Palace. Now, Nobu is a Japanese, pretty much delicacy restaurant sort of ordeal. It's not the food that you can go and get pretty much at any sushi bar or anything like that. I don't know really how to explain, but the food there was top notch. I mean, they gave us the most premium steak and these little tacos that they gave us. They gave us all these just delicious plates of fish and stuff like that, and it was just one of the best meals I've ever had. I mean, we had yellowtail, we had all these different types of fish that I'd never tried before, with all these different combinations of vegetables and other things in it, and it just was so freaking good. If there's any one restaurant I am dying to go back to, it is Nobu. I cannot get over how great Nobu was. After Nobu, we headed to another hotel pretty much right next to Caesar's Palace where the restaurant was, and we've watched The Beatles' Love by Cirque du Soleil, which I personally thought was really, really good. I was just kind of, I wouldn't say disappointed by the music lineup, but it wasn't the music lineup I was expecting, so I was kind of slightly disappointed. But after The Beatles' Love, we headed to another show in front of Caesar's Palace, so we kind of went back and forth. But this show was a little bit different. It was a show called Absinthe, and I wasn't really sure what it was, and no one was really explaining it to me and any of my other friends. But they gave us a ticket. We got VIP seating, so we went into the sectioned off area. They gave us champagne, and then we went ahead and we got seated in front of the stage. I mean, we were literally front row. The stage was literally not even 5 feet in front of me, 3 feet in front of me. This was how close we were. You couldn't get any more front row unless you were literally on the stage of Absinthe. I mean, it was incredible. It was honestly one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Just the show was super, super funny. It was super entertaining. I don't want to give out kind of what was funny about it and all the little things that they do inside of it, but just know that the comedy in it can change based on who's sitting in the actual tent. So if you're easily offended, I would not see the show, but they made fun of pretty much everyone that was in this show, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. The actual performances inside of it were also like, oh, they were so cool, and I really, really just enjoyed the whole Absinthe experience, and I do want to go back and see it again, but you don't want to see a show like this pretty much like 1 year after. You want to probably wait another year, so like 2 years down the line at least, so it changes the kind of the performance lineup, and they kind of correct themselves on mistakes and other stuff they might have made in the past. Now, after Absinthe, and I took the biggest piss of my life because I was holding in the whole time, and I was laughing my ass off. We went over to Caesar's Palace once again, and we gambled a little bit. Now, this is where I went on a hot streak because I was gambling at the Palazzo and the Venetian, and I really wasn't winning. Like, I would put down $100, and then I would like lose it all, but then I get it all back, and it's like, well, this isn't really doing too much. At Caesar's Palace, I spent $20 and walked away with a little over $200, and that was just by playing slots. I mean, literally, almost every game I was going up to, any slot machine, I was winning a jackpot on at Caesar's Palace. I know my friends were just kind of like dumbfounded by my luck at that point, but I didn't have too much luck at any of the other places we went to besides Caesar's Palace, so my hot streak didn't last long. In fact, we went back to the Venetian to gamble right after Caesar's Palace, and I lost $50 there, and I'm just like, I don't want to lose all my money I just won, so I'm just going to go to bed. But before that, we hit up the Grand Lux once again for breakfast at like 3 a.m., and then I ended up staying at the Palazzo until probably 5 a.m. just playing penny slots, so I could entertain myself because I had so much like caffeine running through me that there was no way I was going to sleep. So I just kind of had that wear me down, sat in front of some penny slots, and went to bed shortly after that. Alright, so that pretty much wraps up day 2, which was Friday, and we go ahead and move on to Saturday. Now, Saturday, we didn't really have anything really planned for this day. It was pretty much all empty, and we could do pretty much anything we wanted to. We started the day off by waking up and going to, I think it's pronounced Postrio, Wolfgang Puck. It's some famous chef named Wolfgang Puck, I believe, and his restaurant Postrio at the Venetian. We started off by having breakfast/lunch there, and I opted to get these cinnamon pancakes, and my God, these are like some of the best pancakes I've ever had in my life. They had to be. I mean, these were so freaking good. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, think of like those Eggo, what's it called? Those like cinnamon French toast things that you put in a toaster. But like, think of it like a million times better, and a lot softer and not crispy. This is just the damn best pancakes I've ever had in my life. So after we had breakfast or lunch, whatever you'd like to call it, we jumped into a taxi and headed down the opposite side of the strip towards Circus Circus. Now, I was told by many family members not to get excited over Circus Circus because it's a dump. And right when we were pulling up, I went, wow, they are fucking right. This place is a dump. We got out of the taxi and we walked right in. And this was probably the only part of the trip I ever saw kids pretty much walking down the strip, walking in the casino, walking around anywhere, because when we walked on the strip on Friday, it was all just adults. I did not see one kid or anyone under 21 walking down. But when we went to Circus Circus, we found out that's where all like the little kids and stuff go to, because that's the only resort pretty much with stuff for kids. Sorry about that. So we went ahead over into Circus Circus. We found where the Adventure Dome was, which is where all like the thrill rides and stuff are. And we bought the ticket for the Canyon Blaster, which is the roller coaster. And we went ahead and jumped on and rode it real quick. Now I have to say, for what it was actually a really good roller coaster, which was like a really big surprise to me because the roller coaster at New York was kind of a buzzkill. Like, I was like, oh yeah, roller coaster, roller coaster, roller coaster. I got on and I'm like, I felt like I got a second asshole. I want to get off right now. But when we went to the Adventure Dome, this roller coaster wasn't that rough, and it's themed just so well around everything that I really, really enjoyed this ride, and I kind of wish I rode it again, but we kind of went there all just so I could ride this one roller coaster, so I didn't want anyone else to stand around and wait for me to take another ride, so we ended up leaving pretty much right after. Now, I do want to make a quick note that while you're going up to get on the Canyon Blaster, there is a music game area, and oh my gosh, this is just, it's insane. There's 4 dance games in a row, like with all the pads pretty much touching. There's an In the Groove 2 machine, there's a Pump It Up machine, and then there's a DR Extreme and a DR Supernova all right next to each other. And I don't know if I've ever told anyone this on my YouTube page, but Circus Circus was actually home to where my Beat Mania machine came from, supposedly. When I won that machine on eBay, and I went to go pick it up, when I brought it home and was going through all the paperwork and stuff inside of it, I had an auction slip from Circus Circus that with the tag number 3801 or something like that, which matched the machine that was the machine number that was written somewhere else on my machine. So I knew that those two things were connected to each other, and that's where my Beat Mania machine ended up coming from, where all those music games were. It's just something really cool that, like, it's like, wow, I went to the place where my machine came from. My machine was sitting right over there. It's so weird that it's traveled all the way from here, all the way from Japan, all the way to Circus Circus, to Michigan, and then back to my home in Chicago. But anyways, we went ahead and we left Circus Circus literally right after I rode the roller coaster. And we went back to the hotel for pretty much a minute. And we left again to go to a buffet at the Wynn. Now, the buffet is pretty well known for being like one of the best buffets in Las Vegas. And the line for this thing was like it was longer than a roller coaster line. I mean, we sat in line for like an hour waiting to get into this buffet. And I personally thought it was worth it. I think everyone else was kind of disappointed by it, but they have like all these different selections that you can choose from, like Asian food, Italian food, American food. Like, it's all like labeled, and each thing is just different. So I stocked up on pretty much anything. I mean, I got like beef, I got pizza, I got shrimp, I got meat buns. It was so good, some of the food there too. Some of it was lackluster, but it's a buffet, so I mean, you're expecting that the food's been hanging around for a while. But overall, really, really good buffet, and I was absolutely stuffed by the end of it. So we ended up leaving and heading over back to the hotel and then over to Treasure Island. And I have to say, I was pretty excited to go into Treasure Island just because it's this big hotel, and it wasn't what I was expecting when I came to Vegas, but my opinion soon changed immediately once I walked into the casino, because that casino smelled like coconut butter so freaking badly. I mean, we were in there for like 10 minutes, and I'm just like, if I have to smell this the whole fucking time, I'm not going to stay here very long. And we ended up not staying that long for various reasons, but the big one was the smell was obnoxious. I mean, just imagine whiffing that shit like the whole fucking time you're trying to gamble and have a good time. I mean, it's it's not going your way, especially when you're losing like I was. So after spending some time at Treasure Island, we went straight back to the Palazzo in the Venetian, gambled a little bit more, and then called it a night, which pretty much wrapped up our Saturday, and then we move on to Sunday. Alright, so we jump into day 4 here, which was Sunday. This was our last full day in Vegas, besides day 5, which ended up being only a few hours before we left for the airport. Now, to start things off, we went ahead and headed to Fremont Street. Now, Fremont Street is pretty much the origins of where Las Vegas pretty much started becoming what it is today. You can see all the old hotels and everything on this little strip, and it's just a little fun hangout to see kind of like the past Las Vegas and how it's grown so much over time, and seeing the changes like this whole area has been through. So we went head to Fremont Street, like I said before, and we had plans to go here the night before, but it fell through because it was getting late and the light show was going to be turned off. We tried to go a little bit early to Fremont Street, but the light show wasn't on. It doesn't turn on until later at night, but that wasn't the main purpose. We just wanted to check it out. So we just kind of we were walking around. We headed down from one end of Fremont Street to the other, and on the one end, I was saying, "Oh, there's supposed to be a zip line here. Where's the zip line? There's supposed to be a zip line that comes through." I kind of want to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun, but ended up being down for repairs and it's got to open again later this year at some point. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. Now, when we walked to the other end of Fremont Street, we found the Heart Attack Grill, and I was wondering where this was, but it's kind of blocked off by the construction for the zip line at the moment. So I think a lot of people are missing out on where this thing is located. But regardless, we went in front of it and we saw the grotesque burgers and other shitty food that they were serving up for everyone to eat, and it was disgusting. I mean, I really wanted to eat here, but seeing it in person, it gives you kind of second thoughts. I mean, if you have to put a claim on the front door that says cash only because if you die, we still need you to pay for your food, I don't think that's a very good place to eat dinner or lunch or breakfast. Any meal, come to think of it, is not a very good idea at a place like that. I mean, this is some place you're probably going to eat once in your life and probably never eat it again, especially if you're over 350 pounds and you get to eat there for free. So after checking out the Heart Attack Grill, we started walking back kind of towards where we came in from, and we just kind of were scoping out places to grab something to eat because we haven't had lunch yet. Now, we spotted a newer looking casino on Fremont Street, while a lot of the other resorts and casinos in the area were kind of lost in the previous era of Las Vegas, which that's fine, but we want, I guess, a little bit of a nicer place to go ahead and eat food. So we decided to go ahead into a casino called The D, which I know it's a really funny name, but we went into The D and went upstairs and ate at the restaurant. The restaurant ended up being really, really good, and it was a huge surprise. I had chicken tenders, and those were amazing. And I know everyone else that was eating there at our table, we were shocked by how good the food was. We played Keno while we were waiting for our food, and some of us ended up winning. So we took our winnings, we headed back downstairs, and we decided to play some blackjack to kill some time. Now, I got the ropes down on blackjack, and I ended up doing pretty good. I started with $60 and ended up walking away with about $80, which, I mean, that's not a huge win, but we didn't sit down and play for hours and hours. We only sat down and played for like 30 minutes or so. Then we went ahead and left and started heading back towards our hotel. Now, it started raining on our way back, and which we were just shocked by, because of all the things you come to Las Vegas, then the one thing you don't expect is rain, and it ended up pouring. Albeit it was only for like an hour or two, but it was still interesting to see because I guess we're getting the full Vegas experience then. But we made it back to the hotel. We changed into nicer clothes, not like street clothes or anything like that, like actual nice clothes. Then we headed to go see a show called Michael Jackson 1. That is another Cirque du Soleil show. It's at Mandalay Bay. And that was actually really good. I was surprised. It's very, very different from the Beatles performance. This one was kind of like it's almost like there's magic and other like illusions involved in it, while the Beatles was all just like acrobatic and just like it was so different. The stage too was a lot different as well. I mean, when you see both of them, you'll know what I mean, but I really can't really explain it in words. But after Michael Jackson won, we went ahead and we started heading back towards the hotel. Now, to start things off, halfway through Michael Jackson 1, I ended up getting a really, really bad headache. And then when we got out, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm not feeling too great. And we went ahead back to the hotel. I took ibuprofen, which helped a lot, but it didn't get rid of the headache entirely. We headed back downstairs and headed to this restaurant/nightclub called Lavo. Now, Lavo is like this really, really nice place, and it has this like really popular club. And we got like the whole experience going here, but I was feeling so sick that like I ended up not doing most of it. I ended up going in, having dinner, and then when we went up to the club, I felt sick, like really sick to my stomach, so I ended up leaving early, pretty much right when we got in, and went back to the hotel room and laid down. And I was not up to doing anything at that point. I didn't want to go downstairs and gamble. I didn't want to be any part of that club. I didn't want anyone to freaking come in the room at all, because like I was, not only did I have a headache, but now my stomach's hurting, and like it was just a nightmare for me on this last day, and my night got ruined, which it sucks, because you know you look forward to doing all these fun things, and just some unfortunate event ends up taking it away from you. So but everyone else had a really good time, so I'm happy about that. And they shared some of their experiences with me in the nightclub, but it didn't seem like it was really my atmosphere anyways. It was like a rave, but with rap and hip-hop music, which is not up my alley at all. Like, if there's any music genre that I really despise, it's that. So if there's any nightclub between Tao and Lavo that I was happy to miss out on, it was Lavo this time. But I have to say, the food at Lavo was like some of the best food I've had in my life. So I would recommend checking out, at least having dinner there. We had rice balls, we had the steak, and like the steak was like the best steak I've ever had. And then we rounded up with strawberry shortcake before heading up to the club. But like I said before, didn't stick around for it and ended up going to bed. And I was the only one that ended up grabbing a decent night of sleep before we left on Monday. Alright, so Monday rolls around, and immediately I'm woken up by pretty much my two friends, John and Nick, pretty much saying that they only got to sleep for about 3 hours, which I thought was pretty funny, but that would have been me too at that point, so I couldn't blame them for complaining having to get up after only like 3 hours of sleep. But we ended up getting up, we got packed, we got ready to go. We headed downstairs to the Grand Lux Cafe one last time to get some breakfast, which I ended up staying out on because I still wasn't feeling too great. And we headed out towards the limo to the airport, and then we finally arrived at home. Now, that was a pretty fast summary for the end of the day, but there was literally nothing else we did. I mean, we literally woke up, ate, went straight to the limo and to the airport. No complications, no slowdowns, no gambling, nothing. I mean, we wrapped up on Monday super, super quick. We got out of Vegas and arrived in Chicago on time. So, my Vegas experience overall was a 10 out of 10 for me. I know to start things off, I ended up being sick going there, and on the last night there, I ended up feeling absolutely terrible. But as the day went on Monday, I like made a full recovery, especially on the plane. Like halfway home, I felt so much better. So I was really happy. I'm happy to be home. I already kind of miss Vegas because it was so much fun, but I know I will be going back again very, very soon, and hopefully next time I'll take more pictures. I'll be able to make more videos and stuff like that. This one was kind of last second request to kind of update everyone on what's going on in Vegas, and I just ended up forgetting pretty much the whole time. I was escaping from reality and YouTube, I guess, from pretty much the moment I left to when I came back. So, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, it's really, really freaking long, and I'm sorry about that, but there was just so much we ended up doing in like the 5 days we were at Vegas, and there's no real easy way to round it up unless you want me to go flight, limo, dinner, towel, club, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and leave it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And once again, more daily videos coming up later this week. And I am home, so that means more gaming related videos like DDR, KGD Let's Plays, and much, much more. So don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button.